And for our final item, and certainly not our least, it is my pleasure to talk about Representative Mark Walker, who comes from a state who knows how to talk its talk about reducing recidivism and getting better outcomes. North Carolina has done serious work over the years to try to make sure that they know exactly what the issues are around incarceration in their state, how to implement effective programming, how to reduce arrests, and how to reduce reincarceration. And they have been able to really demonstrate some impressive results. Congressman Walker represents the North Carolina's 6th Congressional District and is currently serving his first term and serves on the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform and the House Homeland Security Committee and the Committee on Government Administration. And he is also, before he was elected, was the pastor of the worship and music for Lawndale Baptist Church in Greensboro, North Carolina. He has been one of our newest second chance champions and somebody who I think is doing phenomenal work on our issues. And so it's my pleasure to introduce Representative Mark Walker.
Thank you, Suzanne. I certainly was admiring that video. You know, who would have thought a music and worship pastor would be serving in the halls of Congress? But music has a healing agent about it. It really does. I remember my first time visiting the Brooklyn Tabernacle and brought our choir and rhythm section and orchestra in and allowed us to participate with them. Visited the Walter Reed Medical Center. Music has a way of transitioning whatever you might be facing in life, and it's certainly impressive to learn more about the program there. Again, my name is Mark Walker. I live in Greensboro, North Carolina, and I admire people who are serving in this kind of capacity, who are making a difference. Good legislation has the ability to change American lives. It gives people a better chance of life, a better chance to aspirate, a better tomorrow, provides gracious safety. It's a safety sometimes, almost a net that catches people when they stumble. Help to get back on track. Renew mercies for a great tomorrow. That's not just hyperbole or talk or really a function of more rhetoric that we hear sometimes in our different lines and levels of work. Earlier this year, I co-sponsored the Second Chance Act for this very purpose, to help change lives and to do exactly what the name implies. Give those who are in need a second chance. The Second Chance Reauthorization Act improves state and local grant programs to promote successful prisoner reentry and improve public safety. 2/3, as probably most of you know, 2/3 of released inmates will find themselves back in jail or prison within 3 years of their release. Over the last decade, 15 years, I've taken groups of 40, 50, 60 different individuals into our inner cities, places like Cleveland, in New York, in Baltimore, in a way and to build bridges, to build relationships, to work in different schools, but ultimately to try and implement the structure of the family. Because you and I know that family units are crucial to be able to maintain not only the civility but also progress that we see in this reentry aspect. These men and women, they face challenges once released from prison. They struggle to find housing and sometimes sufficient employment as background employees do the checks. They are combating substance abuse without adequate access to both physical and mental. As a former minister for 2 decades, I've seen this, the struggle, the daily struggle. For many, they're trying to juggle all these stressors and challenges in isolation, being ostracized from maybe at one time a family they did connect with. Statistics show us that without community support, they are even at a higher risk of returning back to prison. One of the things that we wanted to do immediately, even though I've served in Washington for a year, is we launched what we call the HOPE Commission, HOPE, Healthcare, Opportunity, Poverty, and Education. The O stands for opportunity, specifically designed to help those who've been struggling, those who have made mistakes, those who may be coming out of incarcerations, to be able to re-engage in the community, and as I said earlier, ultimately their family. And we must continue to do whatever we can. Now, hopefully through the Second Chance Act, that we soon to be able to get reauthorized, it's time to come together, really for both sides of the aisle, and as cliche as that is, it really does need to be a bipartisan approach, because this is greater than policy. This is human life we're dealing with. The Second Chance Act through Congress, and I hope and pray, and I believe that this president will soon sign it into law. Passing this law will help give the opportunity of the American dream to many who have lost that hope for a better future and a brighter tomorrow. Just like every one of us, sometimes people need a second chance. In closing, I just want to talk from the heart for a minute. And obviously this second chance act is very important. But I want to challenge each of us this morning. When we share what we believe, whether it's policy, whether it's encouragement, in some cases our faith, I hope that we remember that the relationship has to come before the policy. See, many times, I guess I would be guilty of all, we want to go in the different communities and we want to talk about hope and individual liberty and this is why I'm a Republican or this is why I'm a Democrat. I will tell you, my life experience says that until you invest genuinely in the human being, you haven't earned the right to share what you believe. And sometimes that's a challenge for us. And the truth is, if I could just be completely transparent with you today, there's no quick fix on this problem. There's no easy solution. There's no three-point bulletin outline strategy, go back home and implement this. And as I thought about this, as I expand and see what it is that maybe God has for us in this position, I was talking with a group the other day, and they said, well, do this, and do this, and that should fix or resolve the problem. I thought about that for a while, and I asked myself this question. If it takes a lifetime to make a difference, am I willing to commit that? So as you think about it today, some of you providing your own resources, you travel, your energy, you don't make the front page, you don't get a chance to speak up here, but I challenge you to do this. When you look back 5-10 years of this kind of investment, do more than just make noise. Let's work together to make a difference. God bless you and thank you for the time.